Hello everyone. Now we will discuss another topic, that is isometric views. So first of all we will see what is isometric view, how it is different from orthographic projection, what are the various things which we have to learn for drawing the isometric views, and what are the rules behind those. So let's start. What is isometric views? So first, what is the meaning of this word isometric? Isometric means actually an object in which we have one diagram to explain the complete object. If I talk about the orthographic projection, if you remember, in orthographic projection we have drawn the front view, top view and side view. The three views we have drawn separately. This was the front view for our object, this is the top view, and this is the side view. I have taken an object as a square, prism, like that, or square, box. So whenever we have the three views, we need a view, means how the box is looking from the front view, how it is looking from the top view, how it is looking from right hand side view, similarly the left hand side view, bottom view, rear view, and a number of other views. When we explain an object, its shape, its geometry from different views, then we say it is the orthographic projection. But when we draw an object in single diagram and it is explaining the front view as well as top view and side view, all the views in one diagram, that is known as isometric view or projections, right? So this is the difference, or you can now very clearly see how it is different from orthographic projection. We will talk about this in deep in coming slides. So what is the difference between orthographic projection and isometric views? I'll give you few points of both and then it will be very clear. In orthographic projection, if you remember, I have given an example of a car. So this is the front view, top view, side view, back view, a different view. Means when we have to design a car, we have to design it in different views, how it is looking from the top view, how it is looking in the front view. So in orthographic projection, minimum three views are required. If I give you only the front view, we cannot say the complete information will not be available only from the front view. So we need the top view, side view, means minimum three views are required to explain the shape of the object. Similarly, when I give you the three views, front view, top view, side view, now you have to observe those three views and you have to create a picture in your mind that what is the object. Now everyone has seen the car. If I give you these three views and you can see, or you can imagine, your brain can make the 3D object in your mind and you can understand the shape very easily. But if I take an example in which you have never seen that type of object, that is new to you, in that case, when you have to combine the front view with top view and side view, it is very difficult to understand the main shape. Experience is required. Now we will talk about the isometric views. If I say I have drawn this type of car, same car in orthography, now the same car in isometry. So you can see here the car is very much clear to you that how it is looking from front, top and side. So this diagram is giving you all the views in single diagram. Only one diagram is sufficient to explain the object. Number of sides it will still have hidden. Means if I have to say how it is looking from the side view, how it is looking from the bottom view, how it is looking from the back view, so all those are still hidden. Orthography, we in industry we draw 6 views to explain the shape of the object, but in isometry we draw only one diagram which will give you 3 views, right? Now this is the difference between orthography and isometric. Now we will see the type of projection. Means when we have to design an object, we use various type of projection systems. And what are those? First is axonometric projections, oblique projections and perspective projections. I will not go in deeper to these because my topic is isometry only, so I will go to that part only. So isometry come under the perspective projections. I will give you a view only. What is that? You can see here These are the examples with the same diagram I have explained, like this is the oblique projection system, and similarly the axonometry and perspective. So I'll tell you what is the isometry. The main topic is isometry, so I'll go to that only. So in isometry, what we do, iso, if I say what is the meaning of this word iso, iso means same, right? So iso means same, means we tilt the object at same angle, and that angle is 120. I'll tell you how we get this angle. So whenever we tilt, now this is a cube, we have tilted the cube at equal angle, means every edge it is now having 120 angle. So when we tilt a object at an equal 120 angle, then it is known as isometric drawings. I'll go in deeper for this. Whenever we have to draw the isometric drawing, we need isometric axis. Very important thing, isometric axis. So in isometric axis, we draw a ground line with O point, two angles 30-30 both side with that ground line, one z axis 90 degree. Now these are in actual, I can say, the three axes. So from O, this is the ground line only. From this O, I can say this is what, x axis. This is upward height, we can say, and we generally take it as z axis, and this is the third, and we can say this is the y axis. So we have this axis, means whenever we have to draw the 3D object, we need to draw 3 dimensions in 3 direction. So these are the 3 directions, ox, oy, oz. These are 2 30-30 each, and z axis is 90 degree. So how we get this axis? This is the meaning of isometry, 120-120 each, but I'll tell you, I will explain how we are getting this. Now when we have to make an object, let's say, I'm taking one example, let's say this is a box and I have to make this box in the isometric axis, or I have to make the isometric view of this object, means I should hold it so that I can see its front view, top view, side view, all. So in orthography we have this front view, this one only, we have top view, this one. I'm taking an easy example just to give you the idea. So this was the side view, so this is the front view, this is the top view, and this is the side view, right? So when we tilt the object, we tilt the object so that first its front view and side view, it should be parallel to your eyes, means this edge, it should be parallel to your eyes. After that what we do, we tilt the object in this direction. Okay, now what happened with this, we have tilted this from back side, we tilt so that we can see the top view of the object also. So when we tilt the object in this direction and upward from back side, it will have only a point contact, and I can say this is the O point on the ground line. This will become one axis, this will become second axis, and this will become third axis. So the same isometric axis we are having, same way, right? Now how it is getting 30-30 on both sides? There is a derivation behind that. I'll give you the central idea of the derivation only. The meaning is that when we have an object and we have to say what is the total angle of sight about that object, that is 360. Now I want to divide the total angle of sight into 3 views only, so that I can see front view, top view, side view. So for that reason we divide this 360 into 3 angles. So these angle, each angle will be 120. So when we divide 360 into 3 angles, so each angle will be 120, and we are having this point as O point. It means this will be the ground line, this is one axis, this is second axis. Now if this angle is 120, what is the total angle about this line? 180. So 180 minus 120, 180 minus 120, 60. So this angle will be 30 on this side, and this angle will be 30 on this side. So that is why for OX 30, OY 30, and this was the Z axis, but generally we take height. This is the negative side of height, so we take z-axis upward in this way, so that is 90 degree to the ground line. So in this way we are getting the same isometric axis. So the next term is isometric and non-isometric lines. So what is the meaning of that? Whenever we draw any diagram on this isometric axis, some of the lines will come parallel to either OX, or it will be parallel to OZ, or it will be parallel to OY. Whenever we draw any diagram in this axis, isometric axis, some of the lines of the main object, it will come parallel to either OX, OY, OZ. Those lines are known as isometric lines. But if any line is not parallel to any of the axes, not parallel to OX, not even to OY, or not even to OZ, then it is known as non-isometric line. I'll tell you with an example. Let's say we have drawn a cube in the isometric axis. Now you can see this line, it is parallel to OY axis, or in this diagram I have represented it with Z. I can say these three lines, they are parallel to Z axis. Similarly, this line, and this line, these are parallel to X axis, and these are parallel to Y axis, vertically upward. So all these lines are known as isometric lines. Now the next one is isometric planes. Means when we draw a plane inside of OX and OY. If we have drawn this plane, if I say about this plane, it is between OX and OY. So this plane is known as isometric plane. Similarly, this is isometric plane, and this is the third isometric plane. So let's talk about the difference between isometric view and isometric projection, a very important topic. Now whenever we draw an isometric drawing, in actual we tilt the object, making a point contact with the ground. We tilt the object at 30 degree on both sides. So in actual, if you imagine an object in this way, you can see we cannot see the true dimension. I told you in the previous videos also, if a line is there, if this line is parallel to your eyes, now you can see the true length of the line. We have explained this in the projection of line chapter. When the line become inclined to your eyes, we cannot see the true length. It will give you the reduced length. Same concept here. When we tilt an object at 30 degree, we cannot see its true length. So to make clear about this topic, we have taken the two type of isometric drawings. First is known as isometric view, second is known as isometric projection. In isometric view, we draw the diagram with given values. Whatever the given value is there, whatever the actual value is there, actual dimension is there, we draw the diagram with the same dimension. And in dimensioning, we write the same dimension, whatever the given. But in isometric projection, we draw the diagram with the reduced dimension. This will be the reduced dimension. But when we give dimension, even then we write the actual dimensions. We write the actual length. Here again we write the actual length. You can see the difference. In isometric view, the diagram with actual length, dimensioning actual length. But in isometric projection, diagram we draw with the reduced dimension, but in dimensioning we write the actual dimension. Now the isometric scale. What is the isometric scale? Actually, this is a scale which help you graphically converting the value into isometric length. Means whatever the length is there in actual or the true length, we have to convert it into isometric length. I told you in isometric projection, whenever we draw the diagram, we have to reduce the dimension. We have to make this isometric projection of this area. So its length and height both will be reduced. But how it will be reduced? There is a formula that when we have the reduced dimension, when we have to find out the reduced length will be equal to 0.815 times of the actual length. But this is the mathematical expression. But when we have to do this graphically, we use this, and it is known as isometric scale. So isometric scale is a scale which help you graphically to convert the true length into reduced length or iso length. How we do this? First, from O point we make a horizontal line AB. At the same A point we make one angle 30 degree AC. Then we make another angle AD at 45 degree with the same AB line. At AD line means at this line we have to make the same scale which you use for the measurement, which you use for the drawing. You have to draw the same scale, means 0 to 1 centimeter, 1 to 2 centimeter, 2 to 3 centimeter. These are the actual centimeters. In between you can mark the mm division also. Now after that, from these centimeter values you have to drop the perpendicular, exactly vertical line, I can say perpendicular to AB. So you have to drop the perpendiculars. So what is the meaning of that? If I have to measure the 4 centimeter, this was the actual 4 centimeter which is present in the object, and when you measure from this to this value, it will give you the reduced 4 centimeter. Means we have no need to multiply it with this factor. Directly by measuring this to this, we can convert the actual dimension into reduced dimension. So whenever we have to solve the question of isometric projection, we have to draw the isometric scale. Every time we have to draw, because in drawing subject we are not allowed to make any calculation. We show everything graphically. So this is the graphical method of conversion. Now I have written the same steps also. You can read them, how we have prepared this isometric scale. Now how to draw anything on the isometric axis. Now we are going for the drawing side. We have to draw anything, but we use a method that is known as box method. So let's see how to draw a square, rectangle or a triangle in the isometric axis. So let's say this is a rectangle. Rectangle means opposite side, 90 degree, opposite and equal side. We make the isometric axis first. Now this is a 2D object only. It means we don't need the third axis. We need only OX and OY axis. So we have taken OX and OY axis. So this is, I can say, X axis, and this is, you can take Y or Z axis. It's not predefined. So whatever the length of rectangle is there, we can take on OX axis, and whatever the width of rectangle is there, we can take on OY axis. After that we close them like a box. Opposite side parallel of equal length, opposite parallel and equal length. Then we get the rectangle in isometric axis. So when we have to make a rectangle in XY axis, means let's say we have to make it horizontally. This is the vertical rectangle, this is the horizontal rectangle. Means horizontally I have to make parallel to the base, means it is in between the XY axis, it is XZ axis if I take height in the Z axis. So this is between X and Y axis. So the same way we follow, opposite side equal length parallel, opposite side equal length parallel. So what we do here, from O point we mark the length on this side and the other dimension on this side. After that we follow the box method. Box method means parallel to this equal length, parallel to this equal length, and we get this. I have made separate videos on all of these, how to make rectangle and a number of other objects. You can watch those for more clarity. Here I am just giving you the theoretical concept only. So same, how to make a triangle. So when we have to make a triangle, you can see here, this is the non-iso object. Rectangle was a iso object, means the side of rectangle are coming parallel to OX and OY, but in triangle this side and this side, they will not be parallel to any axis. To make any non-iso object, again we follow the box method. Box method says that we have to enclose the object in a box first, then we make box in the isometric axis, and in that box we'll draw the object. Means first we draw the same 1 to AB box in the isometric axis, let's say vertically we have to make, then we make the object. Similarly in horizontal direction we have to make it like this. I have made the video on the same also, you can watch those. Now we will see how to draw the circle. Whenever we have to draw a circle, we use a 4 center method. I'll tell you with an example. Let's say we have to draw the isometric view of a circle of diameter 60 mm. Again, a circle is a non-iso object. We cannot make directly to the isometric axis. It means I have to enclose this in a box as per box method. So when I enclose a circle in a box, it will give me a side. What will be the side of this? It will be a square, and side will be equal to diameter of circle. This will be equal to diameter. Same on this side also. So first we will make the box in the isometric axis, then we will make the circle. But it is a practical thing, when you tilt a circle at 30°, it will look like a ellipse. So to make that ellipse in the isometric axis, or I can say to make a circle in isometric axis, we need to use a 4 center method. What is that method? I'll tell you. First we will draw the square in the isometric axis, then we will find out the midpoint of 4 sides. This was the same square of 50 side or 60 side, so diameter is 60, so it means we will take 60 side of this square. Midpoint of 4 sides, let's say I have taken A, B, C, D, the midpoint of all these 4 sides. Then these are the 2 opposite corner points. I have to join this corner with A and this corner with B. You can say like a letter V. Similarly, we join these two with this D and C, and we are making the reverse V. In this way we get these 2 new points, and I name them like 3 and 4. After that, to make the ellipse, we have to put the pin at one point and draw this arc. Open up to A or B, draw this arc. Similarly, put the pin at 2, draw this arc opening up to C or D, because both are same, so 2 to this arc. After that, put the pin at 4 point and this arc, open up to B or C. Then put the pin at 3 point, open up to A or D, this arc. So in this way we draw the ellipse in isometric axis in XY axis. So let's say I have to make the same in XZ axis, means an object is in vertical. So what we say, again we draw the square on XZ axis, 4 centers of all 4 sides, opposite corners, letter V, letter A, then we get these points 1, 2, 3, 4, and then from 1 this arc, from 2 this arc, from 3 this arc, and from 4 this arc. So in this way we draw the circle in isometric axis, and then we do dimensioning. In dimensioning, remember that we have to give the dimension of that box in which we have enclosed the object, because it is an ellipse. Ellipse will have major axis and minor axis, so we have no need to make the dimension of the ellipse, as we have to make the circle only. So that is why we give dimension to the circle only. In dimensioning of isometric, we use the same method. All rules are same, only the main difference is that the extension line, means this line and this line, the extension line will be parallel to any axis. Means here you can see I have taken this extension line and this extension line parallel to y axis. So this was the y axis. Whenever you give the dimension, always remember here I have taken and this extension lines parallel to x axis. So whenever you give the dimension, you have to remember that these extension lines for all the dimension, it should be parallel to any axis, either ox, oy or oz. Rest of the rules same. So let's see one more object, how we draw a cube square pyramid in the isometric axis. I have taken one example with a question. A square pyramid of 30 mm base side and 50 mm long axis is centrally placed on the top of a cube of 50 mm long edges. Draw the isometric view of the pair. Now with this diagram you can learn how to draw the cube, how to draw the square pyramid, as well as you will learn how to place one object on the other. So I am giving you the direct steps. I have made the video on the same also, means actually I have drawn the diagram on sheet and I have shown, but here only the theoretical part. You can see I have drawn the isometric axis, then we draw the cube first, same box method. After that we find out the midpoint of upper top surface, then parallel line. In this way I'm showing you the steps only. Then we have taken the height from the mid and we darken the part. Now here we have to darken only that part which will be visible. No need to erase any invisible part, no need to darken any invisible part. So after that we give the dimension. Here also you can see I have taken the extension lines parallel to any of the isometric axes, either ox, oy or oz only. It must be parallel. After that we have to give the dimension to the angles also. You can see this diagram which will explain how we make two objects one above another and how we do dimensioning. So I have drawn this same type of diagrams in the video. You can see those also. Let's see one more example, how we make a cylinder in isometric axis. Now what is a cylinder? Whenever we have to make a 3D object, always break the object into 3 parts. If I say a cylinder is there, now the cylinder will have the 3 parts: first base, then height, and then top. So whenever you have to draw any 3D object, break the object into 3 parts. So what is at the base? A circle for a cylinder. In place of circle we will draw the ellipse. Height, again vertical parallel to z-axis, and again ellipse at the top. So you can see here how we will draw. First we will draw the ellipse with the same 4 center method, then we take the height, box in upward direction, same ellipse in the top, and then tangent to the 2 ellipse. So in this way we draw the cylinder. Same we have to draw the cylinder in horizontal direction. Let's say that was the cylinder vertically, now in horizontal direction we draw the same like in this way. Here I am showing you only the steps which you have to follow, but in actual we have to use the same way with the 4 center method which I have shown in other videos, so you can go and watch those. Now we will see how to draw a cone in the isometric axis. Again, when we divide a cone, it will have base ellipse, but at the top it will have a 1 point apex. We do it like this. No need to make it like a cylinder. At the base circle, but at the top apex only. So we get the midpoint and then join the ellipse with the apex only. Now we will see whenever we have to draw any polygon. Polygon means it will have n number of sides. So the question is pentagonal pyramid. Again it is a non-iso object. In case of this, first we have to draw the pentagon in actual dimension on the sheet. Then we will copy this on the isometric axis, and then we will find out the midpoint and height, and like this, and you can draw like this. Again I have drawn the separate video on this. You can watch those here. Now we will see how to draw a same like hexagonal prism. That was a pyramid, now this is a prism. So first we draw the base hexagon, and then we take the height like this. So this is the way to draw the hexagonal prism. Now the next part of this unit is how we convert an orthographic projection into isometric view. Means whenever we have the front view and top view of an object, how we convert it into 3D object. We will give you few examples only. Again I am telling you, we have separate videos. A number of objects I have taken in the same way, but here we will discuss only the theoretical part. Let's say this is the object given front view and top view. So you can see the procedure in this video how we are making. First we convert a box into the frustum of square pyramid like this. Then you can see here front view it will be same, top view it will be same. So we will see few more objects. Now you can see this is a frustum of a pentagonal pyramid. Front view and top view is given. This is the orthography, front view, top view. Now we will do the same. First we will make the pentagon at the base with the given dimension, then we draw the pentagon at the top, but we know that upper pentagon is having smaller size. So at that we will make the smaller pentagon and we will make the object like this, right? So we will see one more frustum of a cone. It will have the 2 ellipse, ellipse at the base, ellipse at the top. So we will see same square just like a circle, and smaller ellipse at the top, bigger ellipse at the base, and then we will draw the tangents like this. Now we will solve one question. Let's say front view and top view is given. We have to think. Now you can see here there are the 2 hidden lines. So you can see it will have a square slab at the mid. So first we will start with the square slab. Then a cylinder is passing in upward direction like this and in downward direction like this. After that we have to darken the given object only, means whatever the visible part also. So this is the view, how we draw, how we convert. So let's see one more example. This is the question, you can understand. Front view, top view is given. So just watch how I'm making the diagrams. Here I'm showing you only the theory of these diagrams, but in other videos I have explained how to draw it on the sheet. In actual, I have drawn the diagrams and I have shown you, so you can refer those videos for more clarity of the same. Now I will tell you how to make the isometric projection of a sphere, or we can say the hemisphere. Let's say this object is given, a ball is placed on a square prism. So first we will draw the ball with center point P, that is the top of the square. After that you have to take the iso radius upward, means let's say this ball is having diameter 40, its radius will be 20. So if I calculate 20 into 0.815 means 16, approximately 16. So from P point I will go 16 upward. I get the point, midpoint, that is C. Put the pin at point C. After that draw the circle with actual radius, that is 20. So that is the isometric projection of a sphere. Remember that in isometric projection of a ball sphere, its center point will be iso radius, but the size of ball will be actual radius. Now we will see for a hemisphere. You can see the same procedure, we make this. After that we will find out this point, and taking the iso radius on these sides we will make the square, and then we can make the ellipse using the same 4 center method. Then we will erase this. So in this way we will get the hemisphere on the isometric axis. So now we will see few more examples. Let's say this is the front view and top view of an object. So you can see how we are making the isometric of this object. The same procedure you can follow, but the first thing is that you have to understand the object, what is the shape of the object given. So with that shape you can make the isometric view of these objects. You can see here how I'm making. I have made the separate videos on this, how we convert the orthographic projection into isometric projection. You can watch those videos, it will be very clear in those. So I'm showing you a few examples only. Here are the steps how we have to follow, how we can make orthography into isometry. So you can follow the same steps, you can do the practice of the same objects by following these steps, how we are converting them. After that dimensioning part is remaining, you can do it as per the rules. Just try to understand what will be the shape of the object which is giving you this front view and top view. So same like this, you have this object, you can follow the same procedure. So in this way you can draw the diagrams. Now let's see the same isometry in the form of animation. Now what is the pictorial projection and views? Now to discuss this, I told you we have the object, we rotate it like this and this, then it is known as isometric view. But how it is coming? So mainly we are having three type of projection system: isometric, oblique and perspective. From these diagrams it's very clear. Now our topic is isometry, so I will focus on isometry. Isometry come under the category of axonometric projections. So we will discuss the isometry or axonometric projections. Now iso means same. When you take the object, all its dimensions, you can see which I am showing you, all these dimensions will be same, so that is why it is known as isometry. In all the directions the faces are 120. Now let's say one object is there, a cube is there, and we have placed it on HP in first quadrant, and observer is there. So when you see its front view, it will be projected on VP. So its front view, top view, side view, it will be having A, B and the C surface, you can see on VP, HP and AVP. Now to make the isometric object, means this was the orthography, means we have the three views, front view, top view, side view separate. But to isometry, to make it in isometric views, isometric drawings, we need one diagram in which all the views, front, top and side, should be visible. So to obtain the isometric view, what we do, for the same 3D object. We rotate it like this so that front view and side view should be visible. Vertical height, it will be parallel to your eyes. We can say we have tilted at 45 degree to the VP. In this way we will have the front view of the object having two faces A and B, means we can see the front view and side view in one diagram. But we need to draw the third view also, means the top view also. So for that reason we have to raise the object from back side in upward direction so that we can see the three views. So what we do, we tilt the object like this. Now when you stand on the same side of observer, you can see the front view, top view and side view in one diagram like this. So this is known as isometric drawing, and it is having now A, B and C isometric planes. Now in this diagram, if I give the numbers, we have no need to give the number, just to teach you I am giving the numbering here. Now in this diagram, if you see the lines, this one and this one and the third this one, so these are actually parallel to isometric axis. So from here we define the isometric axis. All the planes, they are 120 each other, that is why it is known as iso, means same angle like this. And these are known as isometric angles or axonometric angles. Now you can see these lines 1 4 and 1 2, they are parallel to isometric axis. I have told you how we are getting 30 degree. Now you can see here in this diagram we have the two things, isometric view and isometric projection. When we draw the diagram with true length, means whatever the given length is, then it is known as isometric view. But when we make it with the reduced dimension, means we multiply it with 0.815 or 0.82 by rounding off, so we get the iso length or the reduced length. But in dimensioning we draw the diagram with given dimension. Now to make the isometric scale, what we do, I have told you in the earlier part of this video, we have to take one angle 45, one angle 30 with the ground line. So what is the actual meaning of that for isometric scale? What we did actually, the first diagram is showing you the true length. So we take this true length, it is 45 degree. On the 45 we make the true length, but at 30 degree this is giving us the reduced length. It is actually the dimension of isometric projection. So whenever we have to convert the dimension of true dimensional object to the iso dimensional object, we use the isometric scale which I have shown you with 30 and 45 degree angle. So this part is known as isometric view and this one is known as isometric projection.